too hot.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Papa Hector here, and we're here with a new podcast with you guys. We got special guests here with us. So before I get into that real quick, make sure that you subscribe to this channel on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Anchor.fm, Stitcher, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app. Make sure you check me out on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook at hunganhector.com, hunganhector. But if you really want to check all of it out, check it out at hectorsalva.com, where you sign up for our newsletter. I'll make sure you get all information about everything that we put out. So we got a special guest here with us, Tyson James, who runs the Tyson James podcast. I believe here on Anchor.fm too, right?
Yes, absolutely. One of my favorite podcasting apps out there. You can just catch me here on Anchor for the podcast. And at the same time, for my listeners, we're also, doing a podcast with Hugan Hector. We have another special guest back for the second time, and then we also have a new guest for you guys, and I think you guys are really going to like this one.
Yeah. So, and we have...
How's it going, everyone? Julian. That's how I really just basically go by. Just here to hang out, basically, and see what goes on.
Yo, I was thinking, for your name, can we add something
Oh,
to
you want to, add a whole mix?
Yeah. I want it to be...
Want my middle name out?
Julian the God.
Like I'm about to be a rapper. Right?
Well, you should probably just go with the middle name. You don't think so?
I
That's
think
going to be very original.
India?
Yeah.
Just fly out as India. Let it go out there. Julian India. Start saying it in Spanish, too. So it has a flow.
Yeah, I like it.
Julian India.
I like it.
Yeah, I could be that.
Yeah.
But,
All right.
alright. What are we here to talk about?
I really like the way we was building and what Mr. Hector was talking about. Going through the process of, starting a business and being, I think you called it the 80%, where, you don't have everything perfect or like figured out, but you're just moving. I would like you to expand upon that, because I feel like there's a lot of people out there that want to do something, but they're waiting for it to be perfect. Like, they want all their bills to be paid. They want their kids to have straight A's. They want to have extra money. They want like all these things before they can start to do what they need to do. So, help us transition, or show us how we can transition it from being stuck, waiting for everything to be perfect, into trajectory going forward.
Okay. So the first thing that you got to drop something. The first thing is that right now, as everything is right now, it's already perfect. Perfection is not something you're going towards. Perfection itself is a verb. It's a process. So right now, your perfecting. Your perfection already growing more and more perfect. And that's the thing about a lot of concepts. And perfection is a concept, because everybody's going to look at something and is going to say, this is more perfect, this is less perfect. But the truth is that nothing in nature, nothing in the natural world would be perfect by many people's standard, by many people, man's standards. Straight lines don't exist in the natural world, but everything is exactly as it should be, exactly perfect. So when it comes to like life, business, your kids, your money, whatever's going on with you, right? You have to understand that you're in a process of constant perfection, but everything is already perfect as is. And if you're going to wait for everything to become 100% as what you think should be perfect, when you reach that, you're going to be looking to fix it some other way, to change it some other way. Whatever be perfect dies. Perfection is something that once it reaches, it dies.
Yeah, I think I want people to hear what you're saying right there. Whatever is perfect dies, because there's no room for growth. It's done. It's over. It's finito. Mm-hmm. So we got to stop looking to be 100% or perfect. We got to work with what we have right now right in front of us, what we can do right now to go forward, take the next step to figure out how to go through the process. And it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be easy, you know? It's going to be things that you're going to have to do. You know, there's a lot of sacrifice involved because who you are right now has got you to where you are right now. So if you want to progress, if you want to move forward, you have to become a new person, a new mindset. It has to be changed right there. So I just wanted you to I'm sorry I went on a little rant there, but I think that part was very important.
No, it is, because you see a rose flower. It's so beautiful. It's so perfect. There's so much beauty, fragrance that comes from it. It smells so beautiful. It's a beautiful visual. But a rose flower is standing right before its death because it's reached perfection. It can't go any further. It's done. And what happens is eventually it's going to fall off. It's going to wither away. It's going to die. It's going to again become sand. God is alive. Life. Living. The ing. While the tree is growing, it's still alive. It still has potential. Anything is possible. While you're growing, anything is possible. Once you're dead, nothing is possible.
Once you're dead, nothing is possible. So, where can we start at to uncap our limited thinking to begin the growing process again? Because I think some of us, through, you know, hardships of life and all the things we have to go through in life, you know, we capped ourselves with all these beliefs, what we should do, how we should do it, and we've stunted our growth. You know, people are basically dead already because they've done all that they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
How do we uncap ourselves? How do we break the chains of limited thinking and these beliefs that only take us so far? How do we take the box off? How do we do that?
So I think there's two things. I think number one is that when I tell you that you're perfection already, you can't believe me because you can't see it. You're like, yeah, right. He doesn't know me. He doesn't know me. He doesn't know what I done did. He doesn't know what I done, what I've been through, that it can't be possible. Right? But it is. Because when you think that there should be anything different than how you are, you're declaring that you know better. And you can't say, I know, and you can't say, I don't know, in both hands.
Can you run
you
that
have
back?
to be in one side.
Can you run that back one time? Because you're dropping some major jewels right now. And I want people to understand and digest the shit that you're saying. Okay? Because you know when you're not living up to your potential.
Exactly.
But you just, fuck it, I'm going to grab a can of beer. Fuck it, I'm going to chill.
Exactly.
Fuck, I'll do it tomorrow. So can you please just go back and revisit that one more time, man? Because that is a major key. You know, when you act like you don't know, but you know.
Exactly. A lot of people act like they don't know because it's easier, or so they think. Prolonging the suffering is easier. It takes less effort. It takes less work, right? It takes less work to be mediocre than to be great. But the seed of greatness is there inside you. And so as long as you know that seed is there and you ain't doing nothing about it, you're going to be miserable as fuck. You're going to be miserable. You're going to drink the beer, you're still going to be miserable. You're going to get high as hell, you're still going to be miserable. And it's going to be because you're miserable that you're drinking beer and getting high and doing this and doing that instead of drinking beer and enjoying it.
Now, is there anything like you have to.
Did you hear that though?
Yeah.
Drinking beer and enjoying it. Cause you represented it as a fuck it, right? But that's because, like you said, the seed. They know the seed's inside, but they can't reach it, so they mad about the beer too. Actually, they mad about all of it because in reality they think they have control over some shit, but they have no control over the shit. So they drinking the beer to think they suppressing some feeling, but in reality they still fucking themselves. Constantly fucking yourself because you're not even really doing what you should be doing.
What you should be
Exactly.
doing, yes. And we need to unfuck ourselves.
Definitely.
You know, because that's no fun. You know I was there, you know, just doing basically like the bare minimum. I mean, I'm going to just do just enough. But deep down inside, you know that you should be doing more. You know, because you just know, like you said, that resonated with me because I remember when I stopped procrastinating on things and just saying, I'm going to wait. Waiting for what? I too was waiting for it to be ideal. I was waiting for my perfect situation to come. And I realized it was never coming. I was sliding backwards, waiting, you know, because time kept moving forward.
Yeah, I always say there's no such thing as standing still. If you're standing still, you're actually degressing. You're moving backwards. Instead of progressing, you're degressing. You're moving backwards because time and the rest of the world ain't standing still with you. So if you're standing still, you're becoming rotten and obsolete.
By the time we wake up, you're still in the 90s and everyone over here in the 2000s.
Yeah. I mean, that's facts. I mean, because I felt like that. So I know that there's other people that feel like that.
Yeah.
And they want to move forward, I think. I know they want to move forward. And, you know, with the information you're coming with, you know, I believe that, you know, you can assist in showing people the steps and the way because, you know, you went through the process yourself. I mean, because all of these experiences we have because we're humans, the human experience. You know, so if you're capable of feeling a way as another human being, I'm capable of that same feeling. And especially when we're, you know, in this country, black or brown people, you know, we get the experience that we have the shitty experience anyway, because that's the way it's set up for us. But that doesn't mean that you can't be great. If you can't read, you can learn how to read. It's whatever it is that you can't do, you can learn, because we are all adaptation machines. We adapt, we learn, we survive. But you just gotta put the work in to get these things done.
Mm-hmm. Like one of my god kids always says, and she's very correct, in the palm of your hand, you have more than any pharaoh ever had. In your house, you have more than any pharaoh ever had. Pharaohs did not have running water. Many pharaohs couldn't read or write. That's why they had scribes. Many pharaohs had to wait hours to take their bath. Why? Because they had to go have servants go get the water, boil the water, and pour it in a huge stone tub that took hours to fill. So to take a simple bath took half a day to be prepared to give a pharaoh a bath. So nowadays, of all times, there's like, you have many essential things that you need, plus many other things in the palm of your hand. In a phone, you have so many things that can be done. It's a computer in your hand. So many things, websites, businesses, contacts, marketplaces that are available for people to progress however it is that they seek to progress.
So how do I get started though? What's my first step? You know, if I'm a procrastinator, if I'm a person that's waiting for that perfect day, how do I move from there to one baby step? How do I move one iota forward?
Start saying yes. Start saying yes to life and stop saying so much no. No makes you ugly. Everyone in this world, very quickly, they learn the power of no. 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 So they say no to life. And you say no to what life throws at you. You say no to what's happening for you. You're constantly saying no, no, no. I can't. I won't. It shouldn't. Things shouldn't be this way. Things aren't meant to be this way. You're a no person. Stop being a no person. It makes people very ugly. Even when they say no. When people say no, oftentimes they scowl. They look away from people. They can't even say no direct.
It's a negative.
Because it's so ugly. Because there's so much saying no to life. Say yes. Say yes to life. Say yes, this is happening. Yes, it's good. Yes. Accept life. Go with what life is giving you. Take what life is giving you. Allow it to take you forward. Stop saying so much no. I put a post actually earlier today that actually has something a little bit to do with this, that basically says life is going to get hard sometimes, so get the fuck up and get your shit together. You're either an ocean or a puddle. Don't be a puddle. People walk through puddles like they're nothing. Oceans fucking destroy cities. Stop being a puddle. Start being an ocean. Stop being a drop when you were meant to be all. Stop being small when you were meant to be great. Stop limiting yourself. Stop saying no.
And anybody can be great, right? There's no certain special people like that's greatness is
That's
set
bullshit.
up for.
Special people is bullshit. Is bullshit that they've told you
Oh, tell them
in
why.
order to separate you so that they can have power over you. Okay? I'm here to tell you that what is a spiritual master? What is a spiritual master? A spiritual master is simply the flower. You are the seed. You haven't become the flower yet. We're here to show you what you can become. We're not here to say to you we're better than you. We're here to show you how to grow the tree, how to transform the seed into the flower. We are a flower. We're only showing you. You are the beginning. We are at the end. But the end starts from the beginning. The flower is nothing without the seed. The seed is nothing without the flower. They're interconnected. And the flower, every flower started with the seed. So if you haven't reached, you're the seed. The spiritual master is there to guide you, to show you the way, to grow the tree and to break the seed open. Because it's going to cause a break. Because when a caterpillar becomes a butterfly, it's an extremely beautiful and painful process. But the master is there to say to you, it's okay. We've seen this. We've done this. That's what happened to me. We can help you. It's not to say that we are better, that one is higher and that one is lower. No one is higher and no one is lower. I think I might have touched upon this on my podcast before. Maybe I haven't because I haven't gotten around to it. But people with their chosen people shit is bullshit. There are no chosen people. Everyone is chosen. Every single one. Existence chose Existence took its energy and its time to make sure you came here. Everyone is chosen. And since everyone is chosen, no one is chosen. Since we are all special, no one is special.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I touched on that one.
So everyone can get there. It is not for some special few. You maybe have only seen it amongst the few because only the few have decided to take the risk to go through the pain that it takes to crack the seed open and to go through the transformation. But there are many other flowers around in the world. They just don't know how to communicate that they're flowers. And so then people can't see them. Because not every flower is meant to show the others. Not everyone who reaches has the capacity or the ability to express and guide others to reach. That's something separate. However, everyone can reach. It's for everyone. God is not for any specific people. There is no chosen people. Chosen people is crap that you tell yourself or that they tell you to make you feel better.
Yeah, well, you preach into the choir, for the people on my podcast, because I tell them this all the time. It's not me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not special. You special. You could do anything. You don't have. We don't have limits. We choose our limits.
Mm-hmm.
We can go as high as we want to go. We have to learn how to express ourselves, and again, stop having limited thinking and being a slave to what someone else has taught you or shown you, and they haven't taught you or shown you anything good. They haven't taught you the truth. They haven't showed you the way. It's just been about them making money and keeping you down. People are out here flying. People are out here soaring. But you have to have the courage. You have to be willing to get hurt. And you have to realize, you have to come to the realization that, you don't know anything. But you can do it. Anything is possible.
Yeah, I show you that. Did you ever touch? I don't know if you touched on the second reason of why. What was it? Start saying yes, but you said you had a second reason, right? If people need to start saying yes and stop being so negative. I don't know if you ever touched on it, but I remember the thing is like we limit ourselves, but it's because of judgments, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Judgments have a big deal of why we limit ourselves. Because it's like you're always thinking of what you can and cannot do based on your damn judgments.
Based on your fears.
And
it's not even your fears, it's like what you think is like good and bad. Like you think the homeless man sleeping on the bench, sometimes they're not homeless. He's just sleeping on a bench. Yeah.
Sometimes there is homeless people that is more free than you. That are more free than you, and they're homeless.
Yeah.
And because they don't have anything, they're more free than you. Many of you are slaves. You're slaves to various gods.
Yep.
But the gods that you're slaves of are not real gods, they're false. The god of money, the god of success, the god of business, the god of corporate America, the god of love, the god of joy, all these various false gods taking you and running you here and running you there. Right? And you have to drop it.
Yeah, because anything that has a title, it comes with a limit.
Exactly.
And you have to, whatever title you put on something, you now have to operate in that capacity. But there's nothing outside of that. But there's everything outside of that.
But people even limit other people.
Well, that's the thing, is that
Like-
that's what helps for people to limit themselves.
Yeah, but like, for example, like you're like people try to limit you.
All the time, people try to categorize
Yeah.
me spiritually
Yeah.
into various
With
types
certain-
of work,
Yeah,
right?
and it's like they don't even understand. They don't even understand like what you are. They're so lost in this, in the word of like Papa or Hugan, and it's like, nah, like y'all don't understand that shit is like the fucking rose and seed. Like it's all fucking intertwined. You're not just, yeah, because I see it a lot. Like people do try to limit you. Like think you're just this one thing.
No, because here's the thing, right? A lot of people, they see a beautiful flower, they want to pluck it, and they want to put it in a box to try to save it and keep it for themselves. But the minute that you pluck it, you killed it. And it can't exist inside of a box. A flower is going to move how a flower moves, right? You see a little spot on a flower, you say, oh, the flower is no good. But really, that who are you? You're real fool of yourself to say that spot shouldn't be there. Maybe it's that little spot that makes that flower so beautiful because it makes it different than the rest. It makes it unique. There's nothing in the world that's ever been made identical. Identical twins are not identical. Two blades of grass are never even identical. Everything was made because it was important. Important enough to be made. Important enough to be unique. So when other people will limit you, that'll help you to limit yourself. Right? But
Yep.
you can't hold the butterfly. If you hold the butterfly in your
It'll
hands,
die.
you kill it. It's impossible. If you hold it in your hands like this, cupping it to try to keep it and trap it just so you can see the beauty, just so that you can be, because you're scared that if you let it go,
It'll never come back. You'll never
that it'll
see it
never
again.
come back, that you'll never see it again. You're scared that if you let it go, other people will take its beauty. Maybe someone else will trap it.
How do we drop fear?
Fear is not just something that one can drop, which is part of the process of the spiritual growth. As you grow spiritually, as you begin to take the journey and the path on the spiritual journey properly, fear starts to drop. Fear drops. Insecurities drop. These issues, these judgments, and these chains of bondage start to become dropped. Each step, a person becomes more and more free. The only first fear one has to drop is the fear of making that first step. If you can make that first step, every journey begins with that first step. So you have to just summon just an ounce, just a mustard seed, just a drop of courage to take that first step and say, guess what? I deserve more. I am great. I may not feel like I'm there yet. I may feel even like I'm bullshitting myself at this moment. But I'm worth enough to invest in myself, the energy, the time, the resources, whatever's needed, the same way that I invest in all the other bullshit. Okay? Because lots of people want the flower, but they don't want to cultivate the seed. You have to be willing to cultivate the seed. And you have to be willing to go through the growth process with that plant and nurture it. So you have to say, I'm worth it enough that I'm willing to invest my time, effort, energy into reaching freedom, joy, peace, love, success, like basically that's what we lead people to here, is awakening them to love, peace, joy, success, all these things. But it's up to you. That first, I can't do that for you.
Yeah, you can't take that first step for them.
Nah. If not, I would have already stepped for you, because I already know how good it is.
Right.
Okay? Everybody in this world, y'all all after sex. You're after sex. You know why? Because that orgasm feels so fucking good. Right?
There ain't nothing wrong with that.
Right? But if you reach where I'm at, that's all you feel
It's ecstasy.
on a regular.
As you please.
And you're
though.
just waving in and out of it, like the ocean. And then what happens? Are you so much chasing after things?
No, you have everything.
But you always have everything.
You always have everything. And that's one of the things, like, it's worth it
What's
to,
worth it?
to take that first step because ultimately, in this realm that we're in, no matter what, we all go to the same place, back to the ashes. So you can either be scared, fearful, and not take the first step and still die, because ultimately that's what happens, or you can live a life of freedom, take that first step, and live in bliss.
Yeah, that's what exists on the other side of that, basically, river. Right? But you're gonna have to cross the river. And I'll be there with you. I'll be there with you at like a bridge. But when you cross the other side, the bridge disappears. I can't be on the other side with you. It's your joy. It's your freedom. It's your bliss. It's for you to experience it. I can meet you there on the other side. I can see you there on the other side. But you're going to be having your thing. I'm going to be having my thing. Okay? And then you're going to bring that back here with you. You bring it back into the world with you. That's how you improve the world. You become a prayer. Your life is your prayer. All your prayers, people do prayers, a lot of that is nonsense. I'm here to destroy things. That's the mission that the Spirit gave me. And what I'm here to destroy is everything that's false. And you gotta live your prayer. And you gotta recognize that basically everything God gave you, God already set you up for success. You don't gotta believe in God either. You could call it existence. You could call it the universe. Every word is incomplete. The truth cannot be explained in words. So truth, which has brought you here, has set you up to succeed. Take it and run with it. Some people get on the spiritual journey thinking to ascend and to run away from all their problems. That they will float away from it all. And that's nonsense. When you ascend, you're going to find joy in everything. Even the most fucked up shit. You're going to be like, this is fucking awesome. You're going to love it. You're going to be high on that shit. There is no running away. So, take that potential that you have, that which is making you miserable. It makes you miserable because you know you're meant for more. And when you know you're meant for more, you can't ever settle with less. You can't. You can fool yourself a little bit.
I'm constantly gnawing at you though.
You don't even fool yourself. You stay
You fool
suffering.
others.
You stay suffering.
No, you do fool others though.
You may?
You fool out. You may fake yourself out and whatever, and try to fake them and try to fake yourself in the same process. But yeah, you're just joking because in reality, shit, you dying inside.
And you heavy.
Oh hell yeah!
You know, you heavy. It's just so much better when you light.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's exhilarating all the time.
The thing is, people don't want to be like because they think it's so hard to take that first step.
It's because of the liars.
I was about to say, I don't blame people necessarily all the time because there's so much programming out there. People don't even recognize or understand that they're literally being programmed. You know, there's like a group consciousness. People do things in a way that they don't even know why they're doing it. If a certain song come on or certain shit happen, they just start doing shit. You know, like unconsciously, they just start doing shit. Once they hear these vibrations and these frequencies and they hit their ears, they react the way that the people intended for them to react.
But the thing is that's not a bad thing.
But not only that, there's tons of liars.
Well, the liars
Okay.
come in a different type of
Your
part though.
governments,
but
your
like
religions, your Islams, your Christianities, your all those religion things. You have all those liars
yep,
trying to keep you away from what belongs to you.
yep, that's true too.
I mean, because ultimately with religion, they always make it about a bridge between you and God. And no man can bring you that.
But the thing is,
But he can. But what happens is he's supposed to disappear. He's supposed to no longer be a bridge. When you reach there, no longer do you need someone to hold your hand.
Why do you need a priest to talk to your father?
You don't. You talk directly to him.
Okay, so now if all you gotta do is figure out how to talk to your father, you have someone take you to your father. Now you can talk to your father. Now you no longer need that person to talk to your father.
Only a God can serve a God.
Boom. No other way
Listen.
can it be.
Listen carefully. Only a God can serve a God. That's where the priests started. But these priests, they're not gods.
No.
Only a God can serve a God. That's why they were supposed to be priests. Right? Because they have reached so then they can serve and they can show you. The God that they're supposed to serve is the God that's hidden within you.
Facts.
The God I serve people. I help people. The God that you don't even know exists inside of you. But you can't serve that God because you can't recognize that God. You can't even see that God. You don't even know he exists. Or she, or it, or whatever you want to call it. Right?
Yeah.
So a priest was meant to be there to serve you, to get you to the point so that you could transform and become that God. And when you become that God, the priest disappears. He's no longer a priest. Now you see, he's a God as well.
Mm-hmm.
No longer is that you've transformed, you've changed. Right? But the priests, they like politics, they like money. They let politics, government, money come inside
The lie.
the lie. All of y'all priests are paid by dioceses and this and this and that. Priests of our tradition, they have to make their own money by actually providing services to people, actually helping people. All the other priests, they just toss in money at them, just for you to go there every Sunday
And talk to you.
and
yell at you
talk
or
for a
whatever.
little bit. But for the same Bible, you could read yourself.
Yep.
Okay.
All the time.
But our priests earn their way. Okay? But either way, the priest is meant to be there to serve the people to get them there.
As a vehicle.
A vehicle, exactly. But the politics, etc. Jesus didn't set up a religion. Muhammad didn't set up a religion. Krishna, Mahavira, Buddha, any of the other enlightened ones ever set up any religion. Only the people that followed them set up religions. The people that followed them had not yet reached.
Enlightenment.
Exactly. Otherwise, they wouldn't have set up religions.
And they would have disappeared too.
That when is there the best government? When the people govern themselves.
I was reading something the other day that talks about that. It said the people don't get the government they want. The people get the government they deserve. So it's our fault that we have the government we have, because this is the government that we allowed to take hold.
Over.
Yeah, because we didn't do anything. We just was sitting back, watching shit go on, and just feeling like we have no control and no power. And the reason why you had to go see the priest metaphorically here is so you can turn over your power, so you can no longer recognize the power that you have inside of you, and you just gave your power to somebody else. That's why we never moved, and the government did whatever they wanted to do, because they knew that the people was weak. They didn't believe. So they just sat back and just watched. And now this is where we at.
See, an enlightened one, a sage, a spiritual master, is a priest and is not a priest. Is a priest because he may use priestly methods to help you reach. Is not a priest because he doesn't follow any institution. He doesn't follow any politic. He's not meant to be there as a middleman forever for you. He's meant to help you, guide you, just like a father or mother is supposed to grab your hand until you reach. Once you reach old enough, you're supposed to have become prepared. And you should know now, and then take care of yourself. But the thing is that here, what we teach people in schools, in education, we don't teach people to be successful. We teach them to waste a lot of time learning things that they're never going to need again. And we don't teach people life skills. How to deal with relationships. How to deal with their emotions. How to deal with stress. How to deal with work, success, so on and so on and so forth. Right? And a good priest or a spiritual master, that's what they're there for you. To give you that which you need. But once you have what you need, then
You walk alone.
you walk alone. But then it's not one is above and one is under. The two flowers are on the same level. You're walking with him, hand in hand. You're the fellow traveler. You're on the same journey with him. He's not guiding you anymore. You're just walking
together.
You're walking together. But things that I teach, they're not going to be so popular amongst the priests or amongst the governments.
The liars.
Then the sinners, they're not going to be so popular amongst them. They are the sinners.
They are the sinners.
The sinner is not you.
Nope.
So they're not going to like that. And this road that we take, that I take people with me, is not the most acceptable. But it's the road that gives you what those other people don't ever get. I always bring up over and over all the time Robin Williams, and I know there's a lot of other ones, but he always hits my mind very simply because the man was rich as hell, had everything, he could have anything, whatever. I think Anthony Bourdain did it too, right? Where they kill themselves, right?
I think.
That's what the world wants you to believe. Look, those people got everything that the world could give them. Anything they wanted, they could order. They had all the money in the world. They were constantly living in hotels, going on trips, vacations, this and that. You might think bad of yourself because you don't have money to do all this or do all that for your kids or this or this or that. But look who killed themselves.
Well, because happiness,
It doesn't come from none of
yeah, it does not come from nothing external. Happiness is something that comes from within inside.
It's the seed inside you.
Yeah, you have to be happy with being.
that. And that's the thing. The priest, the government, the society, everyone sends you out into the world. You see? And we send you inside. We reverse. We send you inside, not out into the world. They have you looking out there. So you can't find. You have to turn around.
Because you're sitting on your treasure.
Yeah.
I mean, you are your treasure,
You are your treasure.
so you have to look inside.
You have to, once you realize that, now you can begin to cultivate it and get that seed, just like a seed. It breaks open, it sprouts, it becomes a baby seed, so on and so on.
Yeah, and I think we talked about a lot tonight. And, I think this was a very sincere and dear subject to both of us, because we love so much, and we are the seekers of truth and enlightenment, because that's the only thing that matters. Money doesn't matter. Nothing material matters. Because it all goes away. It all gets old. It all gets played out. You matter though. And I think I would like everybody to take the time to listen to this podcast twice. And, so we don't go too deep, I promise I'm going to bring you back. I would like to bring you back. Because we believe a lot of the same things. This is some of the same exact messages that I talk about on my podcast all the time. And, to hear it from somebody else may be refreshing. And I want to thank you for coming with that for my listeners. I know that this is a very special podcast for me, and I just want to end it right there because I feel like there's so much right there. We don't want to, lose them.
Exactly.
So I think is appropriate that we end this session now, and I want to say thank you again for listening. Love first. Always take the first action, and just let it be love. And I tell y'all that all the time because it has revolutionized my life when love is the first choice of action. And anything you wanna wrap up with?
No, that's all. It's been awesome. Good getting to do all of this together. It's been an awesome discussion, discourse.
I love you.
And love you too.
Yeah.
And that's all. I guess we'll see all of y'all next time.
Julian,
You feel me?
Julian, you gotta say something.
I'm relaxing. Love y'all. Go ahead, hit on with your iTunes,
Yeah.
Apple Podcasts,
So
Google
you know how we do.
Podcasts, Anchor
If you
FM,
heard this,
Stitcher, Spotify. Don't forget his YouTube, his IG at Ugan Hector. And if you really want to get at him, Hector Salva. You know where it is.
Yep, all that.
Love
And God bless. Keep the faith. Until next time.
That's
Papa
it.
Hector.
Believe in yourself.
Believe.
Peace.